Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Keldamuzik, here on Diva Tonight, the podcast show. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Yes. Okay, well, let me introduce everyone. This is a good friend of mine. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Okay. And then we have Mike, also known as Blvck Achilles. How you doing?
Good.
All right. And then we have my little co-host. Right into it. So, David, tell us what OnStage Plus is about.
We're a digital content network.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine we're subscription based. So think of Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And you go on our network and we have different channels.
Mm-hmm.
We have a motivational channel, live theatrical stage plays,
Mm-hmm.
comedians. So that's what we do. And we're actually trying to talk right now, for example, to Apollo in New York,
Mm-hmm.
see about them putting their plays and everything in our network.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. So because nobody can really congregate
Mhm.
like they used to, people still want the content.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and in the digital space, we're on Amazon, Roku, LG TV,
Apple TV.
Apple TV.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
And because the iOS app and the Google Play.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So aggregate altogether 240 million households globally. So
Wow. Okay.
we're excited about that, and we need more people of color in that digital
I was about to say, is it catered to like people of color? Like,
Well, no, we actually do it. We don't discriminate, but
Okay.
at the same time, when you come behind the scenes, thing, it's
Mhm.
all us.
okay.
So,
Yeah. Well, here's some talent here,
No,
right
absolutely,
here. You
absolutely.
needed
It's
more
like
talent.
that's-
too,
yes,
you know what I'm saying?
For submittal.
Right, right.
You.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And Mike, I remember you came on my program a long time ago.
Yeah.
You still rap, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us what you got going on right now.
A crew that I'm in, Grand National, we just released 3 bodies of work.
Mhm.
An album twice on Sunday, season 1, and then we did it behind the scenes twice on Sundays, which is 10 other songs.
Mhm.
We did a live album
Mhm.
based off live performances
Mhm.
from those songs. Right now, I'm recording a solo project that's going to come out under the Grand National umbrella.
Mhm.
So, you know, just been busy.
Okay. You signed to a label or you just
Nah.
doing it all independently?
Independent.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, God bless America. Do we have a president? This election year has been an eye-opener, the largest voter participation in history, and the most divided we have ever been as a nation. How do we recover as a nation of people with different interests? David, I'll start with you.
Oh, wow. And one of the other things we take up, anybody ever heard of Trevor Noah? He does on the Daily Show, I think it is, on Comedy Central. And he has a great viewpoint because he's from South Africa. And they went through a period of reconciliation because they had apartheid, which said you basically, if you're black, this is where you go, you can't go here. And it was like our Jim Crow, but all the way up until, the 20th century. And he said it was basically when they came, we just had to acknowledge, this is what we did, how do we make it right? We took this from you, now we're giving it back. So they went to white farmers and said, this ain't your land, this belongs to them. And the government took that land and gave it back. So they tried to make those make those wrongs right.
Yeah.
America needs to do that. The problem is, I think, we don't, or people that suffer from what they call cognitive dissonance, don't want to acknowledge there's a problem. They go, well, slavery, it's over, let's not talk about it. But you're still benefiting from systemic racism, which puts you over my grandfather. You're still benefiting. So even though you didn't do it, you're benefiting from it. So we can't talk a dialogue until you recognize that, yes, it was wrong, and you do something to make it right with me. I was actually you are a white person and you feel you want to make a difference in America, and reparations is something that the United States government has not done. You as a white person can give to a black family and will get a note that says you started your reparations repayment. And I will give you, a note so you can sit up my cash out at the bottom. And they can say, I mean, you never know. Somebody might be like, okay, well,
I do that. Some
know?
I think would actually do that.
You
I don't
know?
know how many, but I think
Well, cash up on there.
Yeah.
You want to get over $1 million.
Yeah.
People will do that for the most random thing.
No, for real. I'm with that. I'm with that.
The
I'm
worst
sure
thing
we all
that can
might-
happen is,
There you go. Money, hey, okay. And what about you, Mike?
What was the question again?
How do we recover as a nation of people with different interests?
Man, I really think America is had incremental change. It's changed in a lot of ways, but at its core, I think it's pretty much the same. You know what I'm saying? Like the divide that we have now. And I know a lot of people have been talking about civil war, like that's hyperbole, but think like us who think like Californians that are liberal. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if people are Democrats or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? And then there's people like the middle America. And that's still, I feel like that's like the descendant of a Confederate thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's just like the grandkid of that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we can move past it, of course, but it's like if there's no understanding, then you can't move forward.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just like, if somebody don't understand you, they're gonna make that same mistake again because they don't fully understand the concept.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like, it gotta be understanding.
That's right.
We don't have that.
Right. We did need to treat y'all.
Shoot, if they give me 3 acres and a mule, I wouldn't know what to do. I'd sell it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If we in Cali,
Right.
you're a millionaire.
Okay. What is politics? I think that there's first it comes from the root word meaning to lie. So politicians, their title says to lie. If we know going in, you're a liar. And you accept a person as who they are and what they stand for. And say, okay, you might not tell me everything, but at least I want you to act as if, or do what I want. And you can do 50% of what I want, 50% of what you want. At least I'm gonna get something out of it. So I think the problem is we are so conditioned, the president, the vote, and maybe the governor, but we don't look at the mayor, we don't look at the city council. You gotta do this, because that's what's gonna keep my children. For people that smile more, you have two politicians,
Yes.
and the one who smiles is more likely to get elected.
That's funny, because I was checking that out. Trump always got a straight face, and then Biden's like, cheese, like, yeah, your president's supposed to be friendly, right?
But you got fired, somebody want to say something, but they're saying, dude is crazy. And not just crazy, he's crazy. Like, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, he was doing the thing, he said, I'm gonna do presidential order and say to stop voting. Nigga, what?
Right.
Are you serious?
But did you look at the votes? But when you
You know,
Where's the money?
you're right. This we've got to make sure that when we vote, or we're gonna be involved in politics, that we really get involved from the grassroots, right?
Yeah.
So that way, when this doesn't happen down the road, we already set the stage.
Everybody?
People that look like us can vote. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people that actually got killed, you know what I'm saying, for trying to go to polling stations. You know what I'm saying? So I show you that they understand the power in it, the power in voting. But at the same time, it's like, that's just one thing, right? So if we want to change, it's that, I look at that as like, that's just one arm of the change. It's politics, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, education. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So like, that's just one part of it. Like, so yeah, why not exercise that? Use that arm.
That's true,
You know,
with the education, how do you know who to vote for and what's the best interest? Yeah.
And Don, how about you? Yeah. Can we afford to not continue to be
City, your local area, and what's going on, because it's gonna hurt you. And if you vote, then it's gonna help you. But if you don't vote, it might not. It's gonna like go to somebody else. It might go for Susie instead of you. You know, you wanted to get Proposition 22 on the ballot, you got it there. Now you gotta get everybody to vote for what you're trying to, you know, get your words out. So like in this voting season, the biggest thing was for people to come together and really vote as colored people for real. Like, because everybody who's colored, they don't choose. They say, oh, it's electoral college. And, oh, it's not my vote, not gonna count. Oh, all kind of excuses. I've heard it all. Even if it didn't count, it might count. I learned something yesterday about the electoral college vote, in which I feel is kind of sad now that we are in 2020 and of anything. Yeah, 3/5, sorry. 3/5. So, could you imagine if one person, it's five was up here, but one person was only 3/5 of anything. Now take that to the vote. That's where your mind is at, where it says that we don't count. But now that it's 2020, it's a whole lot more of us. If we all went and voted for the right thing, prayerfully the right thing, not for the wrong thing, not for that in-between person that's on the ballot, but you know, hopefully we voted for the right thing, and we will get everything that we are working towards and have been working towards. Like, we worked really hard with the Obama camp, and we did really well. I know we messed up with this Trump thing, but we can definitely, with education and with what did he say? But definitely with education.
Kind of ties into what everyone has said, just about, I feel like research is super important. A lot of people just go to CNN, just go to Fox, or go to my brother, sister, whatever they say, I'm gonna do that, or the Democrats are doing that, I'm gonna do that. What you heard was the best way to go, and that way you can make an informed vote, which is basically being educated.
And that's just so weird. I just want to say it out there. And having us getting behind, we moved that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like you said, Trump is a little touched
Wait, do we got a president today?
When are they gonna make the decision?
Well, they're supposed to be going back and they making sure they would, when you took them to, when Ninth Circuit Court and said, well, I want my counters to be able to stand 6 feet, because they was 12 feet. And they said, he said 6 feet. He said, look, we want some kind of, he said some kind of judgment, and this Delaware, they were like, look, do it. So he's 12 feet, 6 feet. That's all. They didn't vote for you, you know, and he's trying to spin it. I mean, it's crazy. But nothing yet, you know.
I'm kind of staying out of it. Because like you said, you're hearing this, you're hearing that, it's so close. I don't want to be like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? I'm kind of just like, you know what? It's gonna be what it's gonna be, literally. So I'm just gonna wait until the word comes in.
I think, no, look out the door.
We are, we know it's
Yeah.
I mean, I can't remember a time. The only other election I can remember was they didn't call it that night was in 2000. Gore and Bush.
Yeah.
And they had all them like votes in Florida.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they was trying to recount it, and it took longer than like that night. Obama was like that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bush, yeah.
Brother, yeah.
Burning boats.
Don Shannon.
a mess.
Okay, so, from family members, because we have realized that our values do not align, how do we recover as a community based on this? So, we're talking to, you know, friends and family members that disagree with your vote. How do we reunite as a community? How do we build?
Well, you know, so funny because my son has a son who's going for his head and crying. I said, here's the thing. If you know, if you probably voted for it, you ain't no problem saying it. But if you know you're wrong, that's what you're
Why would you
saying.
want to keep that?
You know?
I agree.
Like, okay.
I mean, I get the privacy. People want to vote private and all that good stuff, but I agree with you. It's just like if I stand firm in my beliefs and what this person is supposed to be representing, then if it comes up, I may not go out shouting to the world.
I see people have signs on their front lawn, Biden Harris.
Oh, yes, they are.
Those are the people that
They
speak on the
want
street.
you to know.
Hey, some other things.
Go to some of them red states.
Right. But the question that you guys said, you said, how do we get past it? How do we
Yeah, right, yes.
I think the first one we gotta say, okay, so somebody votes, I voted by county, right? Somebody let it
Okay,
out.
put it out there.
You know, so like, so my thing is, I gotta look at, okay, so my relative voted for Trump. I'm gonna say, well, what is it about Trump? Because matter of fact, which I guess we're gonna get to, some of our entertainers who are very well known, which we'll probably talk about shortly, went up there and, like, for example, you guys remember Steve Harvey, when I think Trump was first doing it, he went up there and it was like, get your ass out of there. And he came out like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You know, the thing is, like, they didn't come in there. Point blank, he's putting money in my pocket. I don't care about how you guys are feeling. Just so that should be okay. I'm not gonna buy your record because you're not helping my community.
Yeah.
So you want to say that? I'm gonna say this, and then we can leave it at that. You know, but you know, I do like that entertainer. But I'm just gonna download this stuff and I'm gonna pay for it. Here we go.
Vote with your dollar.
I president, he was concerned about the black people who he be talking to,
Right.
instead of Lil Pump and Kanye
Oh, Lord.
and
Lil
whoever.
Pump.
Yeah,
Lil
you know
Pump.
what I'm saying? So, maybe you might see a little shift, and then we can get back to the environment.
Right, right. Yeah.
He got the money.
Since we see, I didn't hear the plan. I didn't know we took a vote. Nobody told me. So if that's the case, what's the plan, man?
Who told you this one?
You know?
Right. Did you call her plan? Did you
But
call
how did
her?
she, right, he said he had a group.
He did not call me. I'm sorry. On the conversation versus you being Ice Cube. You know, he probably asked Dre. He asked other people like $100.
NWA community.
Right. And they're like, okay, this is what we'll do. And we should really come on. It's like, that was
I think it's like, I can't speak for all black people, but I feel like we feel a way when one black person feel like they represent all of us.
Yes.
And the consensus of people now.
embarrassing. I'm like, God. And no, I'm sorry for them. I'm apologizing on behalf of the race. I'm gonna take this like that. So who is it? There's one person who you say who could represent us.
I don't know, bro.
Maybe they shouldn't be one
That's
person.
tough.
It needs
I
to
agree
be
with that.
elected.
I agree with that. One
Okay. Well, I hate to wrap it up, y'all, you know what I'm saying? But I want to thank everyone for coming. David, I want to thank you. Mike, I want to thank you. Any last words? Where can people check y'all
Like I
out?
said, don't forget to get his album, his songs.
Oh yeah, Grand National.
Yeah, and where can they get it at?
It's streaming everywhere. Grand National, like the car,
Yeah, I was gonna say
but
that.
it's an XL
Okay.
instead of an A. Grand National with an X.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And Onstage Plus, OnStagePlus.com, OnStagePlus.live. Come and subscribe. It's $5. It's less than a pizza, people. Educate your mind.
That's right.
There you go.
You can go buy a greasy pizza. Y'all can log in to subscribe to this site. Thank you so much for coming.